Well, joining me now is Arsenій Yacenyuk. He's the former Prime Minister of Ukraine. So thank you so much for talking to us. I just want to get your reaction to your president's speech at the European Parliament earlier.
Well, I do commend his speech, and I do have full respect and confidence in my president, but I have strong respect and confidence in the Ukrainian military and Ukrainian armed forces and Ukrainian men and women in the uniform. Nobody expected that Ukrainians will fight like hell for our country, for our homeland, for our independence. The time has come when Ukraine decided to apply for EU membership. We expected that this would happen under different circumstances. But at least we believe that the European Union realized that Russia is a belligerent state. Russia is a real aggressor and it is a threat to the free world. And you just showed Lavrov. And I believe that the time will come when Mr. Lavrov, together with his boss, Mr. Putin, will sit behind the bars in Hague in International Criminal Court.
It was quite something, wasn't it, when your president said that you've had to pay such a heavy price for this unity that we're seeing in the West?
You know, that's unbelievable. Could you imagine that in this century, we are facing an invasion from P5 member from Russia, who actually lied to the entire world that they will never invade Ukraine? Could you just imagine that they are killing innocent people? Innocent Ukrainians, for what? That we admire freedom, that we believe in the free world, that we respect human liberties, that we want to have our country independent. So that's not the challenge. That's more. This is the claim. This is an appeal. This is the threat. I beg the free world to help and to save Ukraine. You have to press tougher, stronger sanctions. Russian oligarchs, Russian people, because they supported Putin, they have to realize that they will pay the price. Not only Putin and his cronies, but they who supported Putin in these atrocities against innocent Ukrainians.
We're constantly told that these sanctions that have already been placed on Russia, on the oligarchs, on Putin himself, the SWIFT system, that they are the most severe that we've ever seen. Do you think that they are enough?
We need to look at the results of these sanctions. If the Russian ruble plummets, this is to be a junk currency. If Russian stocks will be a toxic stocks, if Russian enterprises will be an enterprises with no interest overseas, if Russian gas and oil will be banned to sell in Europe and in the world, so this would be the measurement of effectiveness of these kind of sanctions. This is it. The world, the free world, has to wage a financial, economic, and geopolitical war against this bloody Hitler-style aggressor who is Putin. We are fighting with our arms, with the men and women in uniform. Please help us with an economic, financial, and political war against this belligerent state, which is Russian Federation.
Do you think it should be more than that now? Do you think, because the argument is always, well, we can't help them militarily because they're not a member of NATO. Do you think that the world now has a moral obligation to come in there and help you militarily?
I do believe that the world has moral obligation. Because look at this strong Ukrainian nation who has shown an unbelievable resilience, who is fighting like hell. So all these efforts to appease the beast resembled me 1938 with Hitler. Now I want to be very clear that the free world realized that no more appeasement, that Ukraine is fighting for its independence, and the world is really helping Ukraine with a little defensive weapon supply, with the very tough sanctions, with the financial support. But please do more. We are fighting for our independence, and we are fighting for your independence and for your freedom and for your sovereignty. We are fighting for the world without dictators, for the world without crazy presidents, unhinged presidents like Putin.
Mr. Yacenyuk, you said a moment ago that it's difficult to imagine, or can we imagine what's going on? And for so many people, it is very difficult to imagine what's going on. So can you tell us what you're experiencing where you are and what is happening?
People are united. People are fighting. People are scared. Look at this death toll of innocent civilians. Look at the resilience of the Ukrainian military and the Ukrainian army. So we are fighting for our country, for our families, for our land. We are fighting for our future. There is no other way. No other way. We will survive.
I obviously don't want you to say exactly where you are, but in terms of the capital, we're seeing that convoy, a 40-mile-long military convoy, making its way to the capital. What is your worst fear, sir?
Well, I want to be very clear. I am in Ukraine. I am with the Ukrainian people. I do what I can do to help my country and my fellow citizens. As far as I understand, Putin decided actually to seize a number of Ukrainian cities, including capital. And we have to withstand this. That's the reason why we need defensive weapon. We need lethal weapon to support Ukrainian military. So he made a number of miscalculations. He didn't expect this kind of strong resilience. And once again, I still believe, I am confident that we will survive, that Ukraine will win.
How do you feel that we keep hearing about these sanctions and these economic measures that are being put on Russia, the people in government, the people around Putin, and yet still, it's day 6. Day 6 of this invasion. That convoy is on its way. We saw Kharkiv, 2 cruise missiles on Freedom Square, your president said.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So the West has to ramp up sanctions, ramp up pressure to increase support of Ukrainian military. Just save Ukraine and save the world.
Okay. Arsenій Яценюk, former Prime Minister of Ukraine, we wish you well. Thank you very much for talking to us.
Thank you.